Step outside the wall.
This is outside the wall. Outside the wall.
Welcome to Outside the Walls, where we explore the invisible barriers that quietly shape our lives and discover the freedom waiting on the other side, one conversation at a time. Today, we're continuing our series on the invisible walls that keep us from living the life we're capable of living. We've talked about comfort. We've talked about fear. We've talked about approval. We've talked about busyness. Today, we're talking about another wall that looks productive on the outside, but quietly keeps us standing still. The wall of perfection. Imagine standing at the starting line of a race. Everyone else is taking off. Some are running fast. Some are struggling. Some have already stumbled and gotten back up. But you're still standing there. Not because you aren't capable, but because you don't know what to do. You're still adjusting your shoes, making one more tweak, waiting until everything feels just right. And here's the problem. Life rarely rewards the person who is perfectly prepared. It rewards the person who is willing to begin. Perfection has one of the best marketing campaigns in the world. It sounds responsible. It sounds disciplined. It sounds like excellence. But more often than we'd like to admit, perfection is simply fear wearing nicer clothes. Think about how many dreams have quietly disappeared this way. Someone wants to write a book, but they never finish the first chapter because it wasn't good enough. Someone dreams of starting a business, but they spend years perfecting a logo instead of serving a customer. Someone wants to change careers, but keeps waiting until they have one more certification, one more class, or one more guarantee. Or maybe it's something even more personal. Having an important conversation, applying for a promotion, starting a healthier lifestyle. The opportunity is there, but perfection whispers, not yet. You're almost ready, just a little more preparation. And before long, months become years. And the tragedy isn't failing. The tragedy is never starting. Here's something I've learned over the years. You don't become ready. You become ready by doing. Confidence isn't something you collect before you act. Confidence is something you earn because you acted. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. You didn't master it by reading about balance. You mastered it by wobbling, by falling, by getting back on. Action taught you what preparation never could. There's an old saying I love, you cannot steer a parked car. As long as that car isn't moving, you can turn the wheel all day long and nothing changes. But once you're moving, even imperfectly, you can make adjustments, you can learn, and you can improve. Life works the same way. Progress comes from motion, not from waiting. Here's another thought that's worth remembering. Perfection is one of the most respectable excuses in the world. Nobody questions someone who's still working on it. Nobody criticizes someone just trying to get everything right. But sometimes those respectable excuses quietly become comfortable confinements. Meanwhile, someone with half your experience, half your talent, and half your preparation starts anyway. And because they started, they grow, improve, and succeed. Not because they were better, but because they were willing. Every masterpiece began with an imperfect first draft. Every successful business started with uncertainty, and every meaningful relationship began with an awkward first conversation. Every accomplished athlete was once a beginner. Nobody skips the imperfect beginning. The distance between your dream and reality is usually one imperfect step. If this episode has you thinking about something you've been putting off, this may be your wall. Not lack of ability or lack of opportunity or a lack of intelligence. I heard a saying recently I love, it isn't IQ, it's I do. The wall of perfection. So here's the challenge this week. Pick one thing, one conversation, one application, one project, one idea, and take that first imperfect step. Don't wait until you feel completely ready because you probably never will. And remember this, The world rewards people who finish, not people who endlessly prepare. And perhaps most importantly, your future doesn't need your perfection, it needs your participation.
This is outside the wall. Outside the wall.
The walls may be invisible, but they don't have to define your life. I'm Dave Gast, and until next time, life changes outside the walls.